Hello, dear viewers. We're back with another insightful video. But before we dive in, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Every subscription means a lot to us and motivates us to bring you more valuable content. Today we're going to delve into an exciting topic: foods to avoid if you have bloating. We'll be discussing how to combat this common issue through a low FODMAP diet. We worked hard to gather this information, and we're excited to share it with you. So if you're ready to learn more about how your diet can impact your health and well-being, stay tuned. Now let's dive into the topic and understand how to combat bloating through a low FODMAP diet. You may ask, what is a low FODMAP diet? It's a diet that restricts certain types of carbohydrates that are hard for our bodies to digest. FODMAP is an acronym that stands for fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols. These are particular types of carbohydrates that can be tricky for our digestive system to break down. When we consume foods rich in FODMAPs, they tend to draw more water into our intestines, which can lead to discomfort and bloating. Moreover, these foods can also stimulate the normal bacteria in our intestines to produce gas. Now, this might not cause any issues for some people, but for others, it can exacerbate digestive symptoms. So, who might benefit from a low FODMAP diet? Your healthcare provider might recommend this diet if you experience issues such as stomach pain or bloating. These symptoms are commonly associated with conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, often referred to as IBS, or active inflammatory bowel disease, known as IBD. Before you dive into a low FODMAP diet, it's important to understand that it involves avoiding or limiting many foods. Typically, the diet starts with a strict avoidance of high FODMAP foods for about 6 to 8 weeks. As symptoms improve, these foods are gradually reintroduced, one at a time, while monitoring for any resurgence of symptoms. This careful reintroduction process helps individuals identify which types and amounts of FODMAPs they can tolerate while still feeling well. In the next scenes, we'll dive deeper into the foods you can enjoy on a low FODMAP diet, as well as the ones you should avoid. But remember, everyone's body is different, and what works for one person may not work for another. Always consult with a healthcare provider before making drastic changes to your diet. And that brings us to the end of our understanding of the low FODMAP diet. A low FODMAP diet is recommended for those suffering from belly pain or bloating, especially those with IBS or IBD. Stay tuned to learn more about implementing this diet in your life. Starting a low FODMAP diet involves avoiding or limiting a lot of foods. But don't worry, it's not as daunting as it sounds. You see, a low FODMAP diet is not about deprivation, but about understanding what your body can handle. It's about gaining control over your digestive symptoms and leading a comfortable life. To kick off your low FODMAP journey, the first step is to limit foods high in FODMAPs from your diet. This means saying goodbye to certain grains, dairy products, meats, fruits, vegetables, and other foods that are high in FODMAPs. It might seem like a big leap, but it's only for a short period of time, typically 6 to 8 weeks. During these weeks, you will give your body a break from these hard-to-digest carbs and observe any changes in your symptoms. It's like hitting the reset button on your digestive system. Now here's the fun part. After your symptoms have improved, you'll begin the reintroduction phase. This is where you start adding back the foods you eliminated, but one at a time. You might think of it as a science experiment where your body is the lab and the food is the subject. The purpose of this phase is to identify which foods trigger your symptoms. For instance, you might find that while apples cause you discomfort, you can handle strawberries just fine. Or maybe you discover that while wheat bread gives you a hard time, a slice of gluten-free bread is perfectly okay. Keep in mind, everyone is unique. What works for one person might not work for another. The aim is to determine your personal tolerance level to different types of FODMAPs. Once you've identified the culprits, you can design your diet around them, including only those foods that make you feel good and excluding those that don't. And while it may sound complicated, it can be a game changer for managing your symptoms and improving your quality of life. Remember, the goal is to identify what types and amounts of FODMAPs you can consume without feeling discomfort. It's not about cutting out entire food groups or living in fear of food. It's about finding a balance that works for your body. Now let's talk about the good part. What can you eat and drink on a low FODMAP diet? First up, grains. Go for white rice, brown rice, quinoa, cornmeal, and oats. But remember, it's always best to choose grains that are certified gluten-free. Next, we have dairy products. Lactose-free dairy products like almond milk and oat milk are ideal. There's also a variety of cheeses you can enjoy, such as cheddar, Colby, brie, mozzarella, parmesan, and feta. When it comes to meats and proteins, lean, tender, well-cooked meats, chicken, and fish are your best bets. Other protein sources include eggs, tempeh, tofu, peanuts, pecans, macadamia nuts, walnuts, pine nuts, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, sunflower seeds, and nut butters made with these nuts. Let's not forget about fruits. You can enjoy grapes, oranges, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, pineapple, honeydew melon, cantaloupe, kiwi, limes, and starfruit. They're not only delicious, but also low in FODMAPs. As for vegetables, there's a long list you can choose from. This includes zucchini, cucumbers, eggplant, squash, potatoes, celery, carrots, bell peppers, bean sprouts, radishes, kale, spinach, bok choy, green beans, and lettuce. You can also use canola and olive oils for cooking, and dark chocolate for a treat. Sweeteners like maple syrup, brown sugar, stevia, or table sugar are also low in FODMAPs. It's important to note that these are just examples. There are many other foods out there that are low in FODMAPs, but it's crucial to always check the FODMAP content before consuming. Remember, the key to a successful low FODMAP diet is balance and variety. You don't have to deprive yourself. You can still enjoy a wide range of foods while managing your symptoms. So there you have it, a broad range of foods that you can consume on a low FODMAP diet. It might seem challenging at first, but with a little planning and creativity, you can enjoy a diverse and satisfying diet that keeps your gut happy. These are just examples. There are many other low FODMAP foods out there. Always remember to check the FODMAP content before consuming. Unfortunately, there are foods you should avoid or limit on a low FODMAP diet. It's essential to know what these foods are, as they could exacerbate your symptoms of bloating and discomfort. Let's talk about grains first. Foods like wheat, barley, and rye are high in FODMAPs. This means you should also steer clear of products made with these grains, such as bread, cereal, biscuits, and crackers. When it comes to dairy products, those with lactose are the culprits. Milk, custard, yogurt, and soft cheese might cause you trouble. Also, beware of whipped cream, cottage cheese, ice cream, and soy milk, as they are high in FODMAPs as well. In the category of meats and proteins, avoid pistachios, cashews, and nut butters made from these nuts. Hummus, dried peas, lentils, beans, and other legumes are also high in FODMAPs, so it's best to limit their consumption. Fruit lovers, I'm sorry, but there are quite a few fruits you should avoid. Apples, pears, mangoes, cherries, apricots, nectarines, plums, watermelon, peaches, blackberries, prunes, avocados, and fruit juices made with these fruits can cause bloating and discomfort. The list of vegetables to avoid includes onions, leeks, garlic, shallots, asparagus, sugar snap peas, mushrooms, cauliflower, artichokes, and green peas. These veggies might be healthy, but they are also high in FODMAPs. Lastly, there are other foods and drinks that are high in FODMAPs that you should avoid. These include high fructose corn syrup, agave nectar, honey, chai, and chamomile tea, soda, sports drinks, and milk chocolate. Low-calorie sweeteners can also be high in FODMAPs, so be cautious about their intake. While this may seem like a lot of foods to avoid, remember the goal is to reduce bloating and discomfort. And with time, you may be able to reintroduce some of these foods back into your diet. So don't be disheartened. With careful planning and a little patience, you can still enjoy a wide variety of delicious and nutritious foods. That's it for today's video. We hope you found it helpful and are now better equipped to manage your diet and reduce bloating. To quickly recap, we discussed the low FODMAP diet, a nutritional approach that limits certain carbohydrates that can trigger digestive discomfort in some people. We highlighted foods to include and those to avoid, providing a starting point for those considering this diet. But remember, everyone's body is unique and responds differently to dietary changes. Therefore, it's essential to consult a dietitian or healthcare provider before starting a low FODMAP diet. They can guide you through the process, ensuring it's suitable for your specific needs and doesn't deprive you of essential nutrients. This video is just one of many we've created to help you live a healthier, happier life. If you found it useful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more health and wellness tips. Stay healthy, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next video.